Welcome back to Sitting with Ashley. I'm Ashley. The remote is over there. This is a Wake Bake and Make. Yesterday I started working on something that I worked on a lot a few years ago before we moved up here, and then I just haven't. And I found this old binder that was like my homesteading binder, and it had all old floor plans. I should go grab that. Hang on, let me show you. The evolution. So now that I'm done with the ambulance, now that I'm done with the ambulance, hang on, I want my tea too. I'm just gonna settle. Hold on. Now I am refocusing back on the homestead. So for those of you who are not in my brain, my LLC is an umbrella for the Create, which is the art stuff in town, and also the Home Free Homestead, which I'm hoping before shit gets too bad, we can have be a refuge space for other single mothers and children. Now, the evolution of my floor plans has been a little... I started these when we were in Cottonwood. I don't even know if we had a refrigerator at the time that I started. Yeah, we did. At that point we did. But all that to say is that we've struggled. Okay, so this is the very first the very first floor plan, and I think I've made a Home Free Homestead about my floor plans. But I don't know if that was before or after I got this final floor plan in my brain. So initially I was gonna work with, this was like 2021, I was gonna work with shipping containers. That was what I wanted. But the price of shipping containers, first of all, has gone way up. Second of all, you need to be really skilled in welding, and you have to pay for delivery, and I'm just like, nah, not the thing for me. So this was an initial, here's our RV, the 40-foot RV. So this was way before we ever got the second RV. I think this was like right after I got the land. So I just want to show you. So I've been like collecting things that I want from this initial thing. So like, we have tables, swing set, barbecue, pizza oven. That I want to do like an outdoor kitchen. Greenhouse. So I've invested in all of these things as we've been here. And you know, since then, these are the things I want. Bike rack. We have those old pieces for that bunk bed that I wanted to use for the bike rack. I have pallet wall. So I've gotten the pallets. I've got, how many pallets do I have? 9. I think I've got like 17 to 20 pallets in my yard, but they're currently decks. And so all of that shit's gonna move with us. I'm not leaving it here. Anyway, I have all of the county permit stuff, which I'm not ready to do. I have a fuck ton of lists in this binder about things that I want and need in my forever home. And then I have a lot of floor plans. So I watched Mr. Deeds and drew floor plans for a long time. I think it was fall 2021, before we moved up here. My intention was never to live in town, but I'm glad we're here. I prefer being in town to being off grid right at this moment in our life. My goal with being off grid is to be off grid with everything that I have connected to the grid. So a good internet, enough solar to run everything, heat, water, electricity, but just not connected to the city. So anyway, this is my floor plan now. Initially I only wanted my house to be like 3,000 square feet. But Niall's getting bigger, and our kitchen space here in this house is like 2 feet, because I've got a bunch of shit, like table-y things to like put stuff in. So like the space that we have is like 2 feet. And when we were in the RV, again, it was, you know, the whole RV was 8 feet. So with furniture and shit, again, you only had like 2 feet, and it was cool because he was little. But now he's getting big, and there's not enough room for 2 people in our kitchen. So all that to say is, Niall and I are over living in tiny spots, okay? So this is accidentally about 6,000 feet. I added 2 rooms. Initially I measured this house yesterday, and I'm like, no, I need bigger than this. So, my rooms, I have 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. Initially it's just crazy, because like initially I was like, oh no, that's too much, but it's not. And then I also built in an animal room and an office for me, and inventory space. So this is the back house. Okay, so here on this side we have, I found these in my binder. So this is the pool I want one of those beach pools with like a waterfall and shit. You're gonna have to have a well to do all that. This is a pergola, or like a covered in deck space. Definitely the vibe, okay? Right now we're just using canopies, but when we build, I'm gonna have to, I mean, the wind out there is crazy, so whatever we build has to be able to withstand the wind. I'm talking like 50-mile-per-hour winds out there, so. These are cat things that I want for the animal room. I want Niall to have his own yard without the dogs, because the dogs just chew everything up. They're fucking annoying. So that's the stuff for Niall's yard space. And again, a lot of that stuff I've already invested in here. It's just a matter of getting it there. Up here I have, what is that? Oh, like boho outdoor living vibes, which I've executed here pretty well. I mean, the dogs again are pretty crazy. This is like an herb drying and like pantry. This is greenhouse stuff. Again, that stuff I have now is just not going to withstand the winds out there. And then this is like shelving for an art space, which, as you know, I already have that. I mean, the ambulance is for in town. So, also our bathroom here is about 3 feet, before you, like, not including the bathtub. And again, it's just, we're over living tiny. These are 10 foot by 20 full bathrooms, and then there's the laundry room. So this is gonna be Niall's bedroom. Here is a side door. I want Niall to have his own yard. Now the side door is not in his room. I think that's a little too much freedom, but the side door is off of the living space. So when you first walk in, so I want to do a build that combines traditional or modern, not traditional, modern and like environmental build, right? So like rammed earth, cob, hay, earth bag, earth ship. I don't really want to do an earth ship, which, I mean, earth ships are really cool, but I think that we can use an earth ship style for some things. Like for instance, this is the very front of the house, and this is we're gonna walk in. Is this the front door? Where's the front door? Is over here on the east side of the house, and it's facing south. I'm not buying any more apps, honey. Not the way you keep breaking these tablets. I'm sorry. Gonna leave those expenses for your father. I don't know what I just did, but I don't think you have a problem anymore. I don't think I solved anything though. I don't know what I did. Sorry. I love you. Bye. Anyway, so Earthships use passive solar. The south side is so they put like solar panels up on here, and then it's like all. Let me see if I can find a picture of a Earthship. So you can grow inside your house. So that's the plan for this entry space. I was only going to do it 6 feet, but I'm like, you know what? Yesterday I'm just like, let's add footage. Because, I mean, when we actually go to do it, we can always take off. But, like, I don't know. And then I was looking up, like, how, because I did the math. I'm like, it's 105 feet by 60 feet for this. And that's over 6,000 square feet. Whoops. Anyway, unless my math is wrong. I'm not good at math, so it's probably... The RV that we lived in for a long time was like 200 square feet. This house is probably like, I don't know, 600 to 800 square feet. I don't know. So Earthships use, oh yeah. So this is like the vibe of what I want it to feel like when you first walk in. To have these big windows, have all of these garden beds. And so I have like a 10-foot space for that. And then there's like a half bath. It probably won't be a half bath. It'll probably have a bathtub because I can't imagine not having a bathtub in all of those plants. I think that would be really lovely. And then I'm going to have like an open concept living room and family room. They are 30 feet by 30 feet. It's fucking huge. I'm gonna have a ton of fucking counter space, which I don't have here, and I've never had ever in my life since being an adult. I have all of the appliances I want, and so this is the pantry. This is my room, right off of the kitchen, but here's the pantry, and I want to keep like the fridge and appliances within the pantry. I think the air fryer, coffee stuff, that kind of stuff will stay on the counters. But this is okay, so these are all garden beds. I'm sure you can't read that. So those are going to be 3 feet by however many feet. That's the reason I like using graph paper. Every square is 1 square foot, according to my calculations and the way I am drawing it. So I'm going to have this island connecting, so we'll probably have to do like columns or pillars, because it's going to be way open concept. And then this is a visual of my roof. I want the roof to be super high, 15 feet all the way down to 8 feet for like the back bedrooms. So I just want it to be a like huge scope down. But yeah, so the main space, this front part will be 15, this will be like 12, and then 10, and then 8. So the slant will go all the way down. Do I have the money to do this? No, not yet. But I will get this done, trust me. So this is like an island, and it's huge. It's what, 6 feet by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 6 by 10 feet island space that's going to be connecting the living room and the kitchen. So think about like parties and whatnot. This could just be like this incredible space. And then I'm also going to have this bar seating right here that you can put bar stools on either side, both in the kitchen and, you know, right here in between the greenhouse and the space. So I didn't draw on any furniture. I do want to do, so this is the kitchen side. I want to have a big window. I already have 2 big windows, arched windows that I got from the Restore in Cottonwood. And I want my kitchen sink to have this massive window. I also want a massive window over here, and I feel like for the living space, I don't know, because I was going to do like a little library over here, but I feel like the office would probably be a better place to put books. And then, so each room, there are 4 bedrooms in my drawing. Initially, I was only going to do 2, but that doesn't leave room for blended families, and I don't want to do it life by myself. So I want a 4-bedroom, 2.5-bedroom house. The kids can have their own bath. I can have my own bath. This is the laundry room because it's right by the stuff. And then we have these 5-foot hallways. And there's pretty much a lot of room in between all of that. The walls for the bedrooms are going to be back to back. So adults on one side, kids on one side. Again, I don't have a partner and I don't have any future stepkids right now. But remember that this is a space that I want to open up to other people who are seeking refuge. And depending upon like trauma, some people have been through really bad stuff. So, you know, these could just be guest houses or guest rooms, or they could be for potential partners. If I do ever get married again, I'm going to need my own space. I know this about myself. So I'm putting that in my floor plan. I'm going to need my own room and I'm going to need my own office. Everybody can leave me the fuck alone, right? So then we have 2 back doors that are going to open up to, like, where is that one? Something like this, like a cupboard outdoor space. Probably have a bathtub there too. And then these in the back, this is all going to be like closet storage, so it's about 5 feet by 20 feet. And I just think that would be really nice for all things houses need. Linens and whatnot. And then the animal room is going to be where I keep the kitty litter stuff and all of that. They're going to have their own fucking room. These cats and dogs are driving me crazy. And they're going to share a room. And they're going to fucking like it. And then after the island, we have this fireplace. So this is going to be our central heating, in addition to whatever we receive from the solar. And I understand it's not pushed all the way back, but I'll figure it out. I also want, because these bathrooms are in the middle, so all of this is going to require the same kind of plumbing, right? That's why I put it all in a line like this. Because the laundry and the bathrooms are all going to need plumbing, so I think it'd be easier to just keep it in one spot. And then, you know, the kitchen sink is going to need plumbing, and the half bath. I'm on the wrong side. I'm backwards. The half bath is over here. So the half bath is going to have a door going outside. The living room is going to have a door going outside. The kitchen is going to be enclosed. The front door is going to lead you into the Earthship garden space. And then these 2 back doors. I'm still thinking if I want a door in either my office or my bedroom. Because my goal is this, to have Niles' bedroom right by his own yard, so like with all of his equipment, stuff that the dogs can't chew on, and then the dogs can go out in this yard, and then I'm thinking we'll probably have an adult yard on this side, because the kitchen is also on this side. I think maybe that outdoor kitchen space could be right there. I also want that big window in my kitchen sink to be kind of like a you guys ever seen those swim up bars? Like, I want the kitchen to also serve as like a outdoor, like, from my kitchen sink I can hand you food and you can put it on like a little bar. But I haven't really worked on the outside of stuff yet. These are my future this is my floor plan. I can't imagine having a bathroom 20 feet by 10 feet. That's huge. It'd be nice, especially with the skylights. It's gonna need skylights. So thanks for being here. It's a very balanced floor plan. But I mean 30 feet by 30 feet for living space and kitchen. My thing is I'm really good at feng shui, which is like setting up furniture and stuff. So like the living room, we could have like a reading nook here, an entertainment zone here, a music station here. You know, it's going to be able to be lots of different things, which is so funny because in my very first floor plans, I was like, oh my god, just give me on my land. I'll just take my RV and like, I don't care. I'll get like a box. I don't care. Just like, get me out of this RV park. So, some of my very first, like this one was the very, very first But then after this, so like, so this was like the RV plus two shipping containers, two 20-foot shipping containers, I think. Like I said, that was before we got the second RV. I do still want to renovate those. If I have this massive ass house, then I can renovate the RVs for Airbnbs or for refuge spaces. They would be guest houses. I still want to do the murals on them. I still want to do all of that. I'm just not out there right now. You know, it'll get done. Unless someone burned them down, which does happen out there. And in that case, I have an insurance policy. So that insurance policy would be used to build the house. So either way, it's whatever. These are like some of the very first, but like what I said, in those very first plans, you know, I accounted for everything I would need, like shelves and stuff. And it's just changed a lot. So that's another lesson. Allow yourself the space to change. I mean, I like calculated how much I was gonna need for like building a deck, right? Like 6 pallets and wood for deck, right? So I like front porch, 2 pallets. I have all of these lists of things I want, and I have accomplished a lot of that since we've been here. I still need a goddamn nail gun. I don't know why I haven't bought that yet. So anyway, I'm back on this. I'm excited. I'm very excited. I mean, it's not like it's happening tomorrow, but it's exciting to be back in this space because this was the space I was in right before we moved here. And then like the reality of what we were going through was very difficult. So, you know, we pivoted. But the intention has never been to rent forever. The intention is to have our own. I want Niall to have his own space. I want him to have a house. I want him to have a business that he can take over. And I want to do that while I'm here. It's very important to me to get that done. That doesn't mean he has to stay here when he gets older, but I want him to always have a home to come home to. That's something that I didn't have. And it's very important to me as a mother to make sure that my child knows he has a home that he can come to no matter what. / never have to leave. And I want it to be as Earthship as possible. But I want it to be a combination, you know? I want it to be all of the things. Earthships are built with like old cans and bottles and old tires. Now my landlord has a tire shop, so I don't think I'd have a problem getting old tires. But you need a lot, and it takes a lot of work, like physical labor, because you have to pack in the tires. You have to stack the tires and pack them in with dirt as you go, and then you put like a cob siding on them. I want to have our own water sourcing, so a lot of those things I am going to look to Earthship Design. Michael Reynolds is the guy who perfected Earthships back in like the 70s, I think. There's a whole like community of Earthships in Teos, New Mexico. It's a very hard thing to get permitted, so that's why I want to do a combination of building materials and also techniques. I think I'm really attracted to the way that cob looks, but I think because of this structure, because of the way I want the roof to slant, rammed earth is where you make like a you make this wood frame and then you like literally ram earth into it with water so it like cements, and then you remove the wood, and so it like leaves you with these beautiful like sandstone looking, and I mean the sand that is out there on our land is beautiful. It's very like red, it's very desert, it's the painted desert that we're in. And rammed earth is a good thing. So like I said, I want to combine all the things. I'm really into watching the Mojave desert builds. They do earth bag domes, and I think the domes are really cool. I could see those being on our land for different structures. I don't think I really want to incorporate a dome, but I do want to use earth bags, whether it's for the garden beds or for the walls. But within within the build, I don't even think that the rooms need to go all the way up to the ceiling. I've been thinking about that since yesterday, and I feel like, and I mean, it depends on what the future looks like and who all lives there, right? But, maybe they should. I don't know. But either way, I think it'd be cool to have just like, kind of like that feeling of studio or like what are those called? Like that Art Deco, like city living, like warehouses that turn into apartments, and they're very like open spaces, but like there's different rooms, but like they don't go all the way up to the top. I don't mind that, because then you get like a little display shelf, right? You can put like vases and other shit on there, on the walls and whatnot. But anyway, that's the floor plan. Again, that's the dream floor plan. So if in the future when I start my build it doesn't look like this and I don't have bathrooms that are 10 feet by 20 feet, I'll be alright. But it makes a lot of sense to me, and I really like it. And we're gonna have bathtubs like everywhere. I just want to take baths, outside, inside, around plants. So that was really fun to do yesterday. I haven't drawn a floor plan in a while. So this is Eats. I love it. It's a little excessive. But like our bedroom here is what, 12 feet by, I think it's like 12 feet by, I don't know, 10 maybe? 8 to 10. We share a bedroom. I would like my own 20 by 20 space, and he would too. If Niall had an indoor bedroom that was 20 feet by, and like we could use one of those bedrooms as a playroom or like a homeschool room. I just like having the flexibility of being able to use those big rooms for other things, right? If I wanted to take clients on, I could have a space for that. I don't want to limit myself. Like, this is a dream home, so I don't want to just settle, you know? So that's what this is. It's a realistic, and also I'm going to need a lot of money. But I don't mind putting in the work. I know Niall doesn't either. He's been, like, making all these, like, rock caves in the yard. And he's been practicing how to make cob, too, which is so funny. I mean, he likes playing in the dirt, but it's cob that he's making. He adds in the fibers. So, thanks for being here. I know I'm a freak. I love it. So this is the next project. The more haters, the better. That will help me get this done. So I don't mind you being here. Love you. Bye.